Okay, so today we're making a rose soap, rose and milk. I'm using cow's milk. I'm using cow's milk powder in this one. And so in this bowl, I've got some powdered cow's milk, I've got colloidal oats, and I've got a teaspoon of sugar as well. So that's going to help give it more bubbles. So that's ready to go. I've got all my oils already in this. And I'm going to use the heat transfer method. If you haven't seen that done, that's always a good way to melt your oils. So I've got my acid and I've got my water ready to go. So I'm going to mix those and then put them straight on top of the oils to melt the oils. Once that's melted, I'll put them into the see-through bowl so you can see what's going on. This is the rose fragrance from Aroma, and it's a really nice one. I've had many people say to me, that's the nicest rose fragrance, because sometimes rose can be a bit sickly. This has got a real sort of musk undertone. So I've got that. I'm using a very simple mold today. This, one of those ones off Amazon. And I will be using a little bit of titanium dioxide. So I'm going to make a little pink and white swirl. I've got my fragrance out already. That's 28 mils. And I've got water soluble dye, pink, to put in once I get everything combined. And off we go. So I'm just about now ready to add the grains. Everything's been measured out right to the gram. So yeah, no mucking around. You've got to be absolutely spot on. You want your soap to turn out as it should. So give it a good mix. Put that straight in the sink so it's not. So don't breathe the fumes in. So give it a good mix so you know it's all dissolved. Yep, starting to get hot and fumy. Yeah, try not to breathe the fumes in. It's not good for your lungs. Some people wear masks. I've got my goggles on and my gloves, long sleeves for protection. So yeah, I can feel that's really quite hot now. So I'm going to pour that over my oils and give that a good mix. So yeah, as soon as you pour that in, so in my mix here I've got coconut oil and I've got palm oil. I'll just shut that door to keep the noise out. It'd be right the gardeners have shown up right at the wrong time. Anyway, palm oil from sustainable suppliers and some shea butter to make it more luxurious, and I use canola oil because that keeps your costs down while still making a really nice soap. So yeah, so you can see here it's still quite lumpy, so you've got to keep giving it a stir, but it usually works quite well. When everything gets really soft, you can just put your whisk in and give it a bit of a blitz and that'll finish the melting and the combining. But the heat usually works sufficient. You just got to be patient, and it's quite enjoyable. There's nothing too arduous about standing here and stirring some nice shea butter and all the oils together. Quite a pleasant thing to do. So yeah. But yes, where I live is a gated community and we have gardeners. We don't have to do our own gardening, thank God. Somebody else does it for us out the front. And of all days, I've had the house to myself, and what happens? The gardeners show up and make a bloody racket. So yeah, not happy about that. But anyway, can't do anything about it. I've started. I don't want to send them away. So we'll just keep going. And yeah, so just keep mixing until all your oils are kind of really soft and gloopy. and it should be sufficient to melt them down without having to resort to putting it over a hot pot or even in the microwave. If I had to, I could put it in the microwave for a bit of a blast, but this should be sufficient because the jug's still quite warm. But it does save a lot of time, because I know when I first started making soap and I'd make my lye water and I'd sit it outside and I'd use cold water. In fact, I did use cold water today. Probably would have been better if I'd let it get to room temperature first, but if you want, you know, as much heat as you possibly can get, that might have been a better option, to let the refrigerated water that I use get to room temperature first. But it certainly saves a lot of time, but you don't have to stand around waiting for your lye water to cool down to mix with your oils. If you just do it, saves you having to heat your oils. It's just a nice way to do it. Well, I find it is anyway. So it's a while since I've made a block of soap, so we're nearly there. I've got almost nothing left. There's one little lump left, so I might just give that a bit of a zap with the blender and then pour that into my bigger bowl there, so it's more transparent. And it's just about done. So yeah, so that's quite, like I say, it's an enjoyable thing to do. And yeah, I'll give that one quick zap. So I'll move a few things out the way, bring the blender in, give it a quick blast. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I'm going to tip this straight in here over the top of all my other powders that I want to blend in. Hope that doesn't shift. I'd be happy if that moves. Anyway, let's get all of this lovely soap batter out into the bowl, and then I'll move the bowl into the frame. I don't know about you, but I absolutely love watching other people make soap. I find that really enjoyable. You can learn from other people certain things they do, and you think, oh, that looks good, I'll do that myself. So anyway, here we go. So now you can see better. Put that down a bit. See if that's a bit better. Anyway, give it a go. Right, so that's come up nice. It's nice consistency. I've reduced the water in this batch by about 15%. So I'm going to pour some of this off. It's lovely and smooth. Back into this jug that I started the mix in. So that'll be a little bit of a white to go in, but mostly it's pink, because that's the main colour, is the pink for roses. So I'll put the pink in, and let's just hope it doesn't go overboard, because sometimes the water soluble dyes, you only need the teensiest amount and they can go quite crazy. can't really see any of the colour, but I know from using this water-soluble dye before that when you, if you put too much in, oh my God, it goes the craziest of colour, the brightest of bright pink. So we'll just be leaving it at that for now, and I'll put in a little bit of titanium dioxide into this other jug and give that a bit of a zap. That way I get this to be white, and because I've used a water discount, this little bit of extra water that the titanium dioxide has in it won't make that much difference because it's a water-soluble titanium dioxide. I've used it many a time. I don't always like the way titanium impacts soaps. I think sometimes it... anyway, I'm using just a little bit, and that'll just give it a slightly whiter shade than it would if we just left it natural. So give that a bit of a burl, and the last thing we're putting in is fragrance, so I'll just give this a bit of a zap. That's nice and thick. This is a nice consistency, I said. So yeah, you can see through the bowl. So that's kind of enough of the mixer. I'm now just going to lay that down out of the way, and then I will use the just my spatula to mix in the fragrance, because rose doesn't usually act up quickly, but just being careful. Put 3/4 of it in this bowl and give it a good mix around. Gosh, it smells so good. It really is a nice rose. Like I said, it's got a bit of a musky after throw, and then the rest of it into the one with the titanium dioxide, which is going to be a little bit whiter when it sets up than just the natural soap batter colour, although I quite like the natural soap batter colour. So anyway, they both smell so good. It's quite a nice consistency. I'm happy with that. Even there's a water discount, it hasn't set up quickly. This is just a nice thickness. So it's got just the slightest tinge of pink, which is fine. I don't want it to be too pink because that can be fatal. So let's just get the last little bit of pink out of there. Give it a bit of a stir in. The last drops there of fragrance. Let's give that a bit of a stir. Right, so bring the mould over. And we've got the mould sitting there, and I've sprayed that with isopropyl. Make sure it's lovely and clean. And let's just tip this in. Give it a good scrape, get all of the good soap out. Don't want to leave it behind. one in. Clean up the edges. Gosh, I've made a mess. Never mind. Sloppy, sloppy. Anyway, give it a bang down. Now I'm going to pour the other one that's got mostly creamy white over the top. Good, it's a nice recipe. This one's just the right amount of one of these. Gives me a nice high top. So I'm very happy with that. Clean that up. Just wipe around the edges a bit. Clean that all up. Like the bench again. Jill, gosh. Slopping it around today. But there you go. Anyway. That's the top. Now, where did I leave my... Let me just find my spoon. I'll be back in a second so I can do the top decoration. Oh, there it is. So, I suspect it might be still a bit too soft to do too much. But let's have a little look. Just a little bit too soft. I have to just let it set. Won't take long. It's getting there. I'm just going to put some roses down the centre. That'll do. She says that she's dripping it everywhere. Oh, the bag's broken. Never mind. Oh gosh. So let's just spill some of those, if we can, on top of the soap rather than all over the bench. And there we have it. Managed to get some roses in on the top. So yeah, it looks quite good. Happy with that. It smells really, really good. Too bad you don't have smell-o-vision. So anyway, tomorrow we'll cut it. I'll do a video on that and you can see what it looks like. But if you'd like to give me a thumbs up, that'd be lovely. And like I said, I'm going to be running a giveaway in the next couple of days. I'm going to start running a giveaway for my channel, and to be in it you have to be a subscriber. So subscribe to my channel and leave a comment to say where you're from. You know, I'm from Victoria in Australia, and I'd love to know where you're from and where you're watching from. And yeah, love to hear about your channel, so put the link to your channel in and then I can have a look at what you're doing. So anyway, bye for now, and we'll do the cut tomorrow of the lovely roses soap, because I'm sure it's going to be divine. Anyway, thank you for watching.